The risk of sexual exploitation and abuse is usually heightened in cases of emergencies and when there is a crisis like what we recently went through with Cyclone Idai in Chimanimani, and then currently the COVID-19 pandemic. Women and children, vulnerable groups, persons living with disabilities and other sexual minorities are usually the ones that are most affected by sexual exploitation.
My name is Rulo. I grew up at an orphanage. At this orphanage, as early as 6 years, I would experience a lot of abuse. My first experience of abuse was with this certain guy. Akauya ndichidya bva nditi ndipe chikafu chako ndobva ndaramba bva ati ndichakubata. Later on that evening, akatouya mubedroom mangu bva tonditi wandinyima chikafu chako ka ndauya. He removed my clothes bva totanga kundibata. He had this knitting needle that he had and he started poking me with it. I started crying, tusadaro zvikurwadza, and then he seemed to enjoy it all the more. Ovato so remove his clothes and then he had sex with me. It was both vaginal and anal. It was so painful, and then he was like, "Ukwangoshtaura chete, uchachiona ndinodzoka futi." His sister was also there, and she also then did the same thing, but she was using the knitting needle. And now ndakataurira, but then it was something that kept recurring every day. It was some sort, kana siri mkomana uyu is the sister, and it happened for about till I was 14 years. That's when the director found out about it, and then they did something about it and they were sent to probation. My life was just upside down. I attempted suicide many times, using pills, to rope, everything. I tried everything because it was just too much.
As an affiliate of UNICEF, we are mandated to also follow through their call for protection against sexual exploitation and abuse. We also have groups of peer educators who are called sexual health advocates, who work in communities to actually identify cases of sexual exploitation and report them.
UNICEF is very happy to be working with Adult Rape Clinic, ARC, in making sure that sexual health advocates are educated on how to empower young people and adolescents in these kinds of situations with the right information on their reproductive and sexual health to reduce the risk of gender-based violence.
My job as a sexual health advocate is to go into the community and teach people about the basics of consent, what consent is, what sexual gender-based violence is, what basic knowledge on HIV and STIs, and our services that we provide to survivors of sexual assault.
ARC is also providing psychosocial support to those who may have encountered instances or been subjected to some kind of physical or sexual exploitation or abuse or any kind of sexual harassment. ARC is actually providing that kind of psychosocial support to adolescents as well.
I later heard of ARC and I came for help and I got psychological help because I was now into drugs, alcohol, everything, name it. But yeah, I got the help that I needed and I'm fine now.
We look for places where people gather the most. So it's community halls, churches. Sometimes we have joint campaigns, NEMA partners here.
Mobile outreaches in a COVID pandemic are quite critical, as they are one of the most vehicle which can be used to push issues of gender-based violence within the community.
We are also using the van to take the message to the community of child sexual exploitation, be it reaching out to the parents, reaching out to the children. In other words, you end up giving the message to the would-be victims and would-be perpetrators. This partnership with UNICEF as a ministry enables us to meet our mandate of taking the message to the community.